What is a rectangular coordinate system? Up to this point, we have used a number line to represent x values or whatever variable we're solving for. For example, if we had x is equal to 2, well, we could just plot this point, right? What if we had x is, say, less than or equal to -3? We could shade everything below -3, and either we used a bracket or we used a closed circle. We'll put an arrow indicating that it went on -infinity, and we had -infinity through -3 included with a bracket. This horizontal number line represented all real numbers, right? What if we made the number line a vertical number line? Oh, here's one. And then moving upward would be my positive values, and then from 0 downward would be my negative values. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to combine the two. Notice I'm making sure the 0 matches up. So I'm going to call that the origin. That's the point 0, 0. And you'll soon see that when we go to plot points, we're always going to start at this origin, right? This is where we'll originate in order to plot our XY coordinates. So coordinates, or a point, indicates a point's position. So XY is a point on the coordinate plane. And here, for example, let's take this point here. This is the point 4, right? That's where it measures up on the X, right? Point 4. And then if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upward along the Y direction, we have the coordinates of the point 4, 5. So that gives us this location on the coordinate plane. So points that are located in the positive range, right? We had a positive coordinate for X and a positive coordinate for Y. These are in the first quadrant, or quadrant 1, where there's negative and then a positive coordinate. These are in the second quadrant. Okay, well, notice how we're going in that direction. So now we'll go to the third quadrant. What do you think the signs will be there? We're going to have coordinates that are both negative here. Okay, and finally, quadrant 4. This is where points are going to be positive and negative. So positive X and a negative Y. Okie doke. These are the quadrants of the rectangular coordinate system. And just a quick reminder, if you have trouble remembering which coordinate is listed first in the point or the ordered pair, keep them in alphabetical order, right? X, Y. Again, we'll call these ordered pairs. Let's practice plotting a few points. So here's our first one, 6, 1. Remember that the first number, the first coordinate, tells us to move along the x-axis. Move 6 to the right. We end up here, right? And then up 1. The second coordinate tells us to move vertically. And so we end up here. Again, I went 6 to the right and up 1. And I ended up at the point 6, 1. Let's try this second one now. -2, 7/2. Okay, so we want to move, though, first with the x coordinate of -2. From the origin, we'll go left 2, 1, 2. Then we'll go up to 3.5. 1, 2, 3, and don't quite go to 4 yet, right? We're going to go 3.5. See, that's here. We'll label it. It's really important to label points, right? -2 and 7/2. Let's go to the next one. 5, 0. Again, we'll start at the origin. We're going to move 5 along the x-axis, right? In the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get here. Now, 0 is telling us to move in the up and down y direction, right? 0 times. So we actually just stay there on the axis at the point 5, 0. Let's look at the last point. 0, 4.3. Start at the origin, right? The first coordinate is telling us to move 0 along the x-axis. And then up 4.3. 1, 2, 3, 4.3. It's about a third up. So this one actually ends up staying along the y-axis. And this is the point 0, 4.3. Let's try to plot -4, -3/2, just to give us one more example of that. Okay, so the x-coordinate tells us to move 4 to the left from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, down 1.5. And we'll label it -4, -3/2. Both of those are negative, so we ended up down here in that third quadrant. Good job, everybody. Keep practicing.